What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to do some maintenance and get this car back on the road. To start off, what we're going to do is supercharger maintenance. So change the oil, we got a new pulley or belt for it. I'm really excited for this car, man. It's been sitting for the better part of the last month, hasn't even seen the road. I love driving my cars, so that kind of sucks that it just has to sit, but we'll get her going today. Anyways, here are the parts that we're using. So I got a syringe to pull the oil out of the supercharger. I got some, what is it, AC Delco supercharger oil. I then went and got myself a, well, this is the old one, but I got myself a new serpentine belt. And then I got this. So that is the spindle slash hub assembly. It was actually cheaper just to get the, or a little bit more expensive, but the price was really negligible to just get the whole supercharger slash spindle, supercharger, the whole spindle slash hub assembly. I hope the camera picks it up because it's a little dark down here, but it's actually not too bad. Down there I have the harmonic balancer. I then have the alternator, the belt tensioner, and then the supercharger pulley. So very, very simple to route, and more importantly, it's actually really easy to put the belt on this car. Well, I hope so. It was easy to take off, but it's not necessarily going to be easy to put back on. So all I have to do is run the belt around these things as I mentioned, and then right here's the automatic belt tensioner. All I have to do is pull that back and then slip the belt on. So very simple in theory. Oh, cramp. Oh God. Oh God. That hurt. I got a cramp in my back as I was pulling. Oh my God. I'm too young to be having this happen to me. Okay, so I've changed up my tactic. Initially, I had the belt around all the pulleys, and then I was gonna adjust the belt tensioner so I could throw the belt on. Well, that's not working. Everything keeps falling off, and I'm not able to get enough leverage, mixed with the fact that there's not a lot of room. Well, there is, but like relatively, it's hard to put both of my hands in there. So what I'm going to do now instead is I put the belt around the harmonic balancer, alternator, and then the automatic belt tensioner. I'm going to adjust the automatic belt tensioner and hope there's enough give that I can put the supercharger pulley on. One more, slip over, and boom. Woo! There you go. With a little bit of brain power, that was actually really easy. Now I just got to make sure that everything is lined up nice and good. Well, that's the first task done. As you guys can see, that belt looks a lot better than the other one. Actually, I just realized I never showed you guys the other belt. As you guys can see, this belt is pretty worn. It even has like little things like that. It's all knackered and weathered. So it was definitely time to change it. Now, I actually think one of the reasons why this belt got so worn is just because of its location. So as you guys can see here, right here's the open air vent, and it goes directly to the belt. So on the turbo cars, there was, I actually don't remember what would be in there, but on the turbo cars, as you can see, there is holes in this little opening here. So what I'm going to do is cut some chicken wire to this shape in there, and then I'll just use those like bolt holes to screw it into place and hold it, and that should hopefully minimize the rocks and stuff getting in here, because after 1 year of driving this car, I've only put a few thousand miles, if that. It shouldn't be like that under normal conditions, or shouldn't wear that quickly. All right guys, so on to the next. We're gonna do the supercharger oil. Now, I remember the first time I looked at this, I was like, how the heck am I supposed to get it out? Because it didn't pop into my head, hey, you should probably use like some type of syringe. So from ZZ Performance, they have a kit for the M90 superchargers that it comes with a syringe so you can pull all the fluid out, and then it comes with 2 little bottles of supercharger oil. Changing out the oil on this thing is very, very simple. So there's this bolt right here. I don't know how well the camera picks it up. So I undo that bolt, suck the oil out, and then put the new oil in. So luckily in this supercharger, the oil is self-contained, which is really, really nice. Let's see how easily I can get it with one hand. Oh, okay. Oh. And she's coming out. Let's see how the oil. Oh gosh. Oh.
So if you have never smelled supercharger oil, it's pretty gross smelling. It's probably almost as bad as the fluid in a differential. All right, let's suck her on out. Now this is a pain because you have to go very slow, otherwise it doesn't suction very well. Oh, gross. That's so gross. So the fluid as a whole doesn't actually look that bad. As you can see, even though it's all congregated, like especially down here, it's still pretty clear. So I'm very happy about that. That actually makes me wonder. I wish I would have taken a video of it, but the first time I changed the fluid, it was pitch black. And if I drove this for a year and it's only been like this, that makes me think the supercharger fluid wasn't changed before put in here. For this last part, I literally just dumped this over and hope I don't spill anything. As usual, I am very bad with time management, so I'm not going to be able to get to the knuckle assembly today, and I don't want to start it and then half finish it. I guess that's just more my OCD side. I want to feel accomplished. So what I'm going to do instead is actually I'm going to rip out the carpet right here, and then well, first of all, I'm doing it for two reasons. The carpet, I actually feel like it's kind of a fire hazard because of how hot the trunk area gets. And then the second reason, it's a race car, it doesn't need a carpet. There's actually a third reason as well. I know that the trunk has rust in it, and I'm curious how bad it is. I've never completely taken out the carpet. I've just kind of pushed it up and out of the way, so we're gonna see. Story time, guys. The way I discovered this car has rust is pretty random. So like sometimes when I'm bored or anything like that, or just want to pass some time, I'll just put random YouTube videos on, like on my PS4, and they'll just play in the background as I'm like sitting on my phone. So I did that one day, and then as I look over, I was like, hey, wait, that's my car. But that's not me in the video. I didn't make the video. The video was actually of this car as it was being swapped, and it took place at the shop that built it. And they're prepping the car for paint, right? And so they do shots where like they're, you know, power washing the trunk and engine bay. And in those shots, you could see that the trunk has a bunch of rust. And I was like, I wonder if they repaired it right or what they do. So when I went and checked, I found out that they had just painted over the rust. So that's how I found out this trunk has rust. It's very, very random. So as you guys can see, this is all rusted, and it's literally just, wow, corroding away here. There's this. I had no idea this wiring was even here. So there's this, and then it was tucked behind here. So I just, I had assumed that like there was a hole or something that it went out of, and then me being naive and not checking. Maybe if I had to take a guess, that's probably for the level. So like if it gets too low, it will send a, you know, signal. So that's easy enough to like wire up. Like, I want to be transparent in the fact that I am pretty disappointed in this. You guys can see this is all rust, and it was literally just painted over. So yeah, that kind of is, so like this is like two parts. So it's disappointing that someone would do that. And then the second part is it's actually kind of like a blessing in disguise. So like if this was a super clean car, I don't think I could bring myself to do the things that I'm going to do to it. So one of the things I've considered down the road is I would love to do some type of trunk mount intercooler for this setup. Mainly just I don't really want to rely on the methanol. I think having an intercooler setup would be more ideal. And then the other thing is the front, I actually want to cut it up and then make some holes in the hood. I know Campos has those, I think it's like the Lotus Exige or something. He has some cutouts that can be put into the hood. So those are some of the things I want to do, and I could never dream of doing stuff like that to my white MR2. Anyways, guys, that's the video. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on possibly doing a trunk mount intercooler setup for the Supercharger. I think it'd be really cool. The routing might be a little bit of a pain, but let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next video.